In this video, let's take a look at 5 Nintendo Switch games releasing this month. A couple of these I'm looking really forward to playing. Dragon Quest Builders 2. This is a game where you battle the children of Hargon as you choose to go solo or team up with 4 other players online and locally. I am a pretty decent fan of Dragon Quest. I haven't played all of the games, but the game that I remember the most and one that really got me into JRPGs was Dragon Quest VIII for PS2. And just looking at this game, it's kind of a way to get back into the game, especially since the newest Dragon Quest is also coming to the Switch. If you're not familiar with Dragon Quest Builders 1 and the upcoming one, this is a game kind of like Minecraft mixed with Dragon Quest, where you explore islands, you design towns, you craft, and you also fight enemies. There's enemies and bosses that you can challenge to get better gear, and in the new one, it looks like they added some additional things like swimming, dashing, and gliding. There's also a demo up on the eShop if you are wanting to play it, and I recommend giving it a try because it's a game that seems really strange in concept, but from the first game and the people I've talked to, it looks to be really fun, and it's a game I'm definitely going to be picking up. The next game on this list is one that I heard about in the past, but I haven't really taken the time to look into it until now. God Eater 3. This is set in a post-apocalyptic world. God Eater 3 is set in a post-apocalyptic world, and it is up to you and your team to take down godlike monsters, which after seeing a couple of gameplay videos on the third one, from what I'm understanding, this game has similarities to Monster Hunter but also differences. So there's faster and more flashy combat while Monster Hunter takes it a lot slower. There's burst mode in this game which opens up a whole new moveset for you to use, and this one is kind of interesting because you have NPCs to help you in combat, while in Monster Hunter you play solo or you have other party members. Of course you can have party members in this game, but I thought that NPCs to actually help you in combat is something pretty cool, especially if you're not one to really want to go online and have to deal with other people. Instead of being called monsters, we have origami, and they're based on mythical creatures and demons, which I think is pretty cool. From the monsters, they look to be somewhat similar to Monster Hunter, but they also have their own burst mode, so this gives them their different attacks, which actually looks really fun. I think I might pick this one up, especially since I am a fan of like this series of grinding and getting gear and fighting even stronger monsters. Especially since there is a demo up, I'm going to give this one a try. And if you're a fan of like the Monster Hunter series and you also like anime, this has a story mode, and I heard it's pretty decent, but it's not like anything great. This still seems like a game that I guess I'll see if it's good when it comes to the Switch, and to see if the port is good from the PC and the PS4. A fan favorite anime is coming soon. Kulick Hill is a fighting game that puts you in some of your favorite scenes of the series. This is a series that I've seen a little bit on, like a few fights and probably like the first few episodes, but I never really got into it. This is a game that I know a lot of people might be looking forward to, especially if you're a fan of the series, which I know a couple of people who really love this anime, not just only for the fan service, but it has some really awesome animation and fight scenes, and putting this into an actual fighting game, I'm surprised they didn't do this earlier. It seems like something they would have wanted to do like a few years ago when the show was like more popular in its prime and stuff, but it's still cool to see this one coming to the Switch. This one is where you play as Satsuki, so you play as this character instead of the other protagonists, and this game has a story mode with cinematics, a practice mode, training mode, and online, as you would expect from most fighting games. The one thing that I feel that it might be lacking on is the modes. I'm not entirely sure how long the story mode will be, and after you beat that, you really only have practice mode, training mode online. There can be some other modes maybe in the future, or modes that I didn't see, but from what I've like looked up, it seems like these are the only modes. Too bad there's not anything like team battle or some other type of mini games or something like that that really keeps it fresh. Are you excited for this game? Or if you're a fan of the series, will you be picking this up if you're a fan of fighting games? Let me know in the comments, as I'm very curious to know how the people, how the community and fans of the series really feel about this. Can you believe it's been 10 years since Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2? That is crazy. I remember playing that game a long time ago with my friend on the Xbox 360, and seeing it now coming back and being a Switch exclusive is really cool. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order is releasing mid this month of July, and you have Thanos and the Black Order trying to collect the 6 Infinity Stones as you form an unlikely alliance with other people like the Brotherhood of Mutants and some really weird combinations that come from the other games, which was always really fun. And I can't wait to see all of these cool characters coming back, especially the X-Men and the Fantastic Four characters. You have Psylocke. You have so many cool characters coming back that you haven't seen. We haven't seen those characters in so long in the game, and seeing this on Nintendo and just seeing these characters come back is just something that is really memorable for me, because I'm a fan of the series, especially growing up as among a lot of other people. So if you're excited for this, let me know. I'm really curious to know from other fans. This has a original story that disregards the first 2 installments from the game, so that's very interesting. They took that route instead of just continuing off from the previous games. This has 34 characters at the start. That is a lot of characters, and with the DLC coming later in the year, there could possibly be 50 characters. I know there's still a decent amount of characters missing that I hope they add from the other series, and hopefully when the game comes out it will be completely fine with the online. From the gameplay videos that I've seen, it looks like a lot of fun. There doesn't seem to be too many things with the slowdown or anything like that, and you have a couple of options that you can choose to do, so it seems like it will be a pretty fun game. I'm just curious on how long it will be, and mostly just if the online will be good. Now this is an interesting game, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and the reason why I say it's interesting for me is because I never really got into the series. I played a little bit on GameCube, but I couldn't get into it at the time when I was younger. I wasn't really into tactical RPG, like turn-based type of games, but now that I'm older and I experienced other types of games, this one seems like something I can finally play. This is one that's pretty cool because unlike some of the other games in the series and even in this genre, you actually control the house teacher, which is very cool. You have your students and they have their problems and you try to solve them, growing relationships. And my friend told me that the series, I'm not entirely sure if it's the whole series, but at least I know Awakening, there's a lot of interactions with characters and that's a highlight. Of course, with the gameplay I heard is really fun. It seems like there's going to be a lot of replayability in the Fire Emblem games that I'm noticing from this one that I seen the gameplay. At first, I wasn't really sold because it looked like it has some lag issues, but as I see a little bit more of the game, it looks a lot better and I'm pretty excited. This is probably the one I'm most excited for on this list, mostly because it's a series that I really want to get into this time. You have 3 houses, the Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer, probably opening up to a lot more of things you can do and going back and seeing different character interactions. I feel like this game is going to have so much in it, but I am really looking forward to Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Will you be picking up any of the games on this list? Feel free to share in the comments. If you want to discover upcoming indie games and Nintendo content, then feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of my newest releases. Until next time everyone, take care.